Hey guys, it's Jonathan from the Howard Hospitality Group. Welcome to another, what we call Start Your Vending Journey and Grow Your Business with the Howard Hospitality Group. This is actually part two, which is pretty exciting. I think this is probably gonna be one of my favorite segments that we do because tonight we're gonna cover hunting for locations. We're gonna cover pitching locations, and we're also gonna cover, if we have time, we're gonna try to get through it all. But we also have a whole segment on commissions also. So hopefully we can get through all of that. If not, we'll go ahead and do commissions next week, and because that's a whole conversation in itself and can be pretty lengthy. But welcome to another week. It's part two, like I said, and we wanted to do this for people that are getting started in the industry. There's a lot of videos that are out there with a lot of information, a lot of good information for people, but it's not really all kind of in one spot. And by no means are we experts on any of this stuff. This is just kind of how we do things. A lot of the stuff that we've learned from other people. None of this is all of our ideas. Sure, we have some input in what's going on here, but through the Discord and Facebook groups and all the people that are out there that have helped us and other people, we've taken it upon ourselves to kind of combine all those resources together and work together to help each other. And that's what the biggest thing with the Discord is, as all of you know. And if you're not a member of the Discord, highly recommend you join the Discord. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and there are over now 3,500 members or more in the Discord, and they're all about vending. So no matter what kind of vending you're in, there's somebody in there with the same passion that you have. And so welcome everybody. I see we got quite a few people in here already. It looks like almost 10 people. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And so we're going to do the basic kind of intro thing that we normally do, which is I wanted to talk about, the nonprofit that Matt and David and I and Eli and Cody from Quick Play and Candy Machines is pitched in with the prizes to give away. But we started a nonprofit, and the nonprofit that we started is called YOW. So I wanted to kind of cover that first, and I'll do that probably every time we get started, because I think that this is probably one of the most important things to us that we do is to give back and to help other people in the business, especially kids, get started. And as you know, our kids started our business, and we're family run business now. We have full line machines, candy machines, arcade machines, claw machines, make mini claws. So we kind of cover the gambit when it comes to vending, and it's all done by the kids. We help them, we drive them around and do all the stuff that they need to do to get to where they need to be. I do a lot of the marketing and help with the videos and stuff like that. But all in all, it is them, and we want to see other kids like them do this. And this was kind of something that all of us as a family got together and wanted to start. And the website for the nonprofit's called YOW. It's Young Entrepreneurs of the World. The website is yowkids.org. For those of you who are not familiar with it, you can go there and you can donate to the cause. You can get, you can't really see my screen real big because I'm kind of small, but you can get stickers for your machines, kind of like the Children's Miracle Network. You can put those on your machines. It helps you get locations and helps you pay less commissions. So very helpful, and then you just pay a monthly fee per sticker. But that's all. Basically, you just need to go on there, check it out. You can see the submissions of some of the kids that have entered to win. We're giving away candy machine, a triple time candy machine from candymachines.com. So thanks to candymachines.com. And we give away one of those a month. So that's 12 a year. Plus, at the end of the year, everybody that's won goes into a drawing to win a mini claw machine from candymachines.com. So very cool. And the thing that's probably the coolest about what kids can learn about vending is that it covers a lot of different business aspects. And so it covers a lot of things, and it boosts their confidence. You can't imagine how good Sam and Amelia are talking to people nowadays. And when we actually did a seminar at MBVA, which I want to go back real fast before we cover this. But when they get older and they get ready to go to college, MBVA also has a scholarship for the kids to go to college. So that's why I put that up there with our Yao stuff. So, anyways, but they learn how to budget. They learn how to manage the money. They learn a lot about sales, which is what we're going to cover tonight, and I think is probably the hardest thing that people have a problem with when getting into this business is how to pitch locations, how to find locations, and stuff like that. And we're really going to get into it tonight. We'll show you the techniques that we use. And some of it, well, we'll get into that in a little bit, but they learn all the things that are listed here. The kids get to learn how to do. It makes them more well-rounded overall, helps them in school, helps them with their peers, and then they can work on their own business for the future, which is kind of awesome, because I know that my oldest son didn't have any business classes until this year. He's a junior in high school, and they finally have classes for them, which is business, but it's one class. So that's kind of bad, you guys. We need to get these kids going and get them started in their own business. And if you guys love vending as much as we do, I mean, there's no better business to get them into. So, but anyways, hello to everybody out there. I see that we're all getting there, and the numbers are climbing, which is great. Hi, everybody. I can see your comments. They're all coming through. And yeah, if you have questions as we go along, definitely put them in the comments, and I'll answer them as I go. But let's get into it. And what we're gonna do together is something kind of fun today. Is we're actually gonna go hunting together. And so if you guys don't know, we live in Northern California. So we're probably about an hour and 20 minutes north of Sacramento. And near Sacramento is a location that is it's called Roseville, and not everybody knows it's there, but basically it's a newer development and part of Sacramento, and it's up and coming in the fact that it's all new stuff, lots of new restaurants, new cool places to go. Excuse me, I'm sorry. There's allergies today, and they've been bothering me. But so there's like family entertainment centers there. There's shopping, malls, and so actually just the other day it was funny because I was telling my wife Natalie that I was gonna be doing this, and she's like, "Oh, I was just looking up restaurants for Roseville the other day because because they went to the mall, the Galleria Mall, which is in Roseville, which is the only good mall that's really around here." So her and the kids went shopping, and so she said there's a lot of restaurants in Roseville. So we're gonna hunt together. I haven't seen them. I've only been to Roseville a few times, but I thought that it'd be better than me trying to hunt somewhere that I know. I wanted to hunt with you guys, not knowing what I'm looking, like what I'm looking at. So we're gonna learn together tonight, and the things that we really, really work on together as a family, and when we get ready to go out, is that we like to have as many tools with us as we possibly can to help us through the process of hunting for these locations. And the biggest thing that we do is a lot of research and into the locations, where we can put the machines, and how to get into these locations. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull up a window here. Let me get rid of this one real fast, and I'm going to pull up a window and show you how we hunt. And so this is actually going to be really fun, I think. So we'll do this together. So this is actually a technique that both David and I use. Why is it not opening a window? Where is it? New window. Okay. So David and I know he uses a similar technique. He actually did a video similar to this one on it not too long ago. And so we're going to go in here and let me pop open this window for you guys and I'll share it. So let me share a window. This one. Okay. So I'm going to add this to the scene. So this is your standard Google, right? So no matter where you are in the world today, what you're going to want to do is pull up your Google and you're going to want to type in your location. And we start with restaurants. We love restaurants. There are, you can do boba shops, you can do ice cream shops, you can do whatever you want. But we love restaurants because most restaurants, if they're nicer restaurants, they do have a waiting time and a line to get seated, especially on weekends. So we really, really want to. Oh yeah, look, she was looking up restaurants, Roseville restaurants. So this is how we're gonna do it, and this simple. So Google is your best friend, you guys, and you're gonna love this. And so on here, you'll see kind of the top three most popular restaurants, or something. Close to that is what's going to come up. But what we want to do is we want to click on more places, and this is where you're going to start. So this is how cool this is. So what you're going to find out here in a second is hopefully a map will pop up here. I don't know why it's taking so long. There it is. So all these locations are going to appear on the map, which is actually kind of spread out over there, but you can see them all over here. So everything that's listed on the left over here is got a point on it. So when you mouse over that location, you'll I'm on the wrong screen. When you mouse over that location, you'll actually see the dot appear on the screen. So the way that we do it is we like to hunt by area. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the locations that are in this area. And it looks like all the first ones, well, that one's a little further down, but we'll get down to these. But these first like 4 or 5 are all kind of in the same area, and that's what we want to do. So what you're going to do is you want to find, you're going to look at the reviews. These are all very good. I mean, they're all over 4s. You can see they're all nice restaurants. Now, the thing with these type of restaurants is that these could be, corporate restaurants. So they could be, larger restaurants that might be a little harder to get into. And so if you want to start hard, these are the ones you're going to want to start hard with, or you're going to start, doing that are going to be a little bit harder. But the thing that's kind of cool is I'll show you how to research, who owns them, and who to talk to and that kind of stuff also. So let's just pick one. And I could tell you right now, just by looking at most of these, that these are going to be probably owned by a restaurant company of some kind, or they're going to be owned by a company like Darden or other ones. Darden owns a lot of the Olive Gardens and those types of restaurants. But I'm going to show you how to figure that out, which is really cool. And then I can show you also why you're going to this restaurant. Maybe there's other locations that you can hunt in the same complex, and I'll show you how to find that also. So the coolest part about Google Maps is that you can actually click on the item, which I did here. So you'll see it pop up, and in here is 2,203 photos of that location. So you can actually see the inside of the restaurant. You can see the layout of how everything goes. You can usually find spots to place your machine. You can find out when you walk in what it looks like. And these are all notes that you're going to want to keep for yourself. So what you're going to want to do is pop open, like either on your phone, you can have a notepad, or you can open up, like we use, just a notepad or anything like that that's on your computer, and make notes about these. So if it's something you're interested in, you'll list the name of it. So Yard House, you'll list the address, which is down here where you can find it. And what you'll want to do is come back at the end once you make your list of the ones you want to go to, and then you want to put them in order of how you're going to drive. So like if this one, which one's this one right here? So this is Eureka Restaurant. So we'd start here and then work our way down to all these spots, as we go along with the restaurants. So you'll go back at the end and do a finalized list of restaurants, and then you're not driving from this one up to that one and back and forth. So actually, we'd probably want to start at this one, which is Flame and Fire Brazilian Steakhouse, which sounds pretty awesome. So let me see if I can pull that one up first, since that'll be our first stop. They got 4.4 reviews. They got their own website, and they got 753 photos. So this is where you're going to find all the stuff. And this is so cool. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull up your images here, and you're going to want to scroll down, and you're going to look. So you can see the outside of it, what it looks like in the front. It looks very nice. And then you can start seeing inside pictures. So you can see the kind of diners that are in there. Does it have a lot of kids? Is it, mostly older diners? By the look of this restaurant, this is going to be more of a fine dining restaurant. More than likely, you're not going to have that many kids in there. So if you do put a machine in this restaurant, it's probably going to be, more adult type toys, and that kind of stuff. But this is sweet. I've eaten at one of these type of restaurants before. They're really good. But you can see in the pictures, exactly what it looks like inside. And if you look, you don't see a lot of kids in here. So this would be something that you may want to do and find out if they do like happy hours or something like that, where you could have specialty stuff. You could put gift cards and stuff of the restaurant in there. But it does look very, date night type location. It's not so much a family restaurant. It looks like it's more of a fine dining and go out with some really nice friends or something like that type restaurant. Private rooms like this. Excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. So I have my coffee. Let me drink a little drink. So, but see, people post their own photos on here, which is awesome. This is what's so great about this, is that you can actually see the whole inside of the restaurant. And like here, you can see right now, this is where you enter. So if you look, you'll see here's the where you check in. And it looks like there's like a little desk here where you'll check in. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to be looking for at these locations is, where can I put my machine? Sometimes you can even see if there's power on the wall. But I would say that this would probably be down the list of locations you'd probably want to hunt for, just because even in all the family photos, like there's a girl having dinner, with her parents. But how often does that happen? I don't know. I don't frequent this restaurant very much, but from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like there's, many, hamburgers and stuff for the kids. So this would probably be more of, a down the line type restaurant. So let's look at another one and see what we can find here. So the next one down from that is Eureka. So let's pull that one up and see what it looks like. So good reviews, 4.2. That's pretty good for having 889 reviews. Let's see. Has outdoor seating, has a fireplace. That's pretty cool. Let's check out. And it's got almost 700 photos. You guys got to love this. Like, this makes your job so easy. And basically, you can kind of see most of this is food. It looks like there's the patio area with an outdoor bar, which is pretty sweet. Looks like there's a young couple there, but I don't see any kids yet. Let's keep going down and take a look. So let's see here if there's families. I can't tell if that's kids there or not. But I also want to see kind of some pictures of the inside. Looks like they're really featuring their cocktails. But it also depends, and this is what I'll go back and I'll show you when we get done here, is that it may be in a complex where there's other things that kids are at. So I'll show you that in a second. But I'm just scrolling real fast, so don't get dizzy on me. But I want to just kind of get to see if I can see any photos of the inside a little more than the food. People must really like the food. They're focusing a lot on the food. I see the bar and the food. Those are what I'm seeing here. Not a lot of people. And this looks like, more of a corporate type owned restaurant. Let's see. So there's two women out on, having happy hour, looks like. Let's see here. So there's more pictures of the inside. So that looks like that might be the way out to the patio, but that's not the main entrance. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry about the cough, guys. I apologize. Let's see. Here we go. So I know I'm getting hungry too. I saw that comment right here. So it looks like this is your main entrance right here. So you walk in here and it looks like there's a station there. So right here on the wall is a potential location for a machine that I can see. I'm guessing there's probably power around this corner behind this guy. I'm guessing, but I'm not there. I can't tell yet, but that might be a possible location if you wanted to put one. I just want to see how many kids come in here. But it definitely looks like, there's some kids. So there's a kid. So yeah, I mean, they have burgers. It looks like, they have that kind. So this would be a good location. So let's research it a little bit more and I'll tell you guys kind of what we're looking for. So yeah, I mean, this is a place you go and there looks like there'd be a little bit of a wait to sit down and eat. You could put your machine by the door on the way out or on the way in while they're sitting there waiting to get seated. I just want to go down a little bit more and see if I can see any more photos. But this is how we research our locations before we even go, because this is somewhere that we've never been. So it looks like, yeah. So I think that that's the main entrance over there. Let me go down a little bit more here. There's the patio. I'm just gonna kind of scroll through these. There's a lot of photos of this one. So, but that kind of gives you an idea. They have a really nice bar. Looks like they're busy too, especially on weekends. So that'd be great. And then let me show you the coolest part that I love about about Google. So not only can you find, I bet if you scroll down, we can find more pictures of the inside. So it looks like this door opens up to the patio, which is pretty awesome. I mean, this is a really cool place, you guys. I mean, I think that, you'd probably get some family. There's a kid right there. Perfect. So this gives you an idea of kind of the location, right? So now so here, if you notice a couple things. So the first thing you'll notice is that right here it says menu, go to the eurekarestaurantgroup.com. So let's pop that up real fast. I don't know if hopefully it'll open a separate window. It didn't, but this is their group of restaurants, right? So now it's got a link right to their website. This is their menu. Let's go down. So they have all their restaurants down there. Let's see. So they have locations. Let's see what kind of locations they have. Holy cow. So if you can see, man, can you imagine getting into this place? So this is all over California, for those of you who don't know. This is from, all the way down in San Diego, all the way up to Sacramento. So this is a huge group then they have them in Idaho, Nevada, Texas, and Washington. So this is a lot of restaurants in that group. And this would be something that you're not going to walk into this location and ask the location itself. This is going to be something that you're going to call their corporate office on a Monday morning and ask who you talk to about doing this at several locations. Possibly, like we've talked about in the Discord, getting together and maybe we can cover all the locations with different people that might live in those areas. But if you go to, let's see, contact us. So on here, what you really want to find is an email versus a form. I don't like forms. They don't really ever seem to go anywhere for some reason. But what you can also do is you could Google, Rica Restaurant Group and see if you could find information on that. So here's your loyalty. How do I find out about your club? What's your social handle? Do you have a loyalty program? So these are just questions that people have asked. But you also notice back here, if I go back, and then also too, another one that is really good for this is Yelp. But what I found with Google Maps is that you get more information than just what Yelp does. Yelp will give you reviews. Oh yeah, somebody just posted that. So I do the same with Yelp. So Google reviews is older folks. And I use the combination of both because they're not consistent. True. So you could do both. And that's what I was just going to say is that using Yelp and Google Maps together before you go this is just a great way to do it. So down here, you'll see here's their social media pages. So you can go to their Facebook and check out their Facebook, and you might be able to just send a message and say, hey, this is what we do. Is there any way that I can contact somebody at your corporate office, or who would I talk to? And this is so here's your email, guest services at eurekarestaurantgroup.com. So you would send them an email Monday morning or something, and here's the phone number. I'm guessing this is probably for one of their restaurants. I doubt it's for their actual corporate office, but this email looks like it could be for the corporate office. So that would be an email to send it to, and then you can start working on that group of restaurants. But this just gives you an idea. So what I would take from this location is that I would, first thing I would do is that picture that we found of the entrance that you guys saw. And that would be the first picture that I would print out, and I would circle the location and I'd put it aside. I'd write down the address and then and put it on my list. And then I would put has pictures of kids, looks more fine dining and busy on weekends, but does have kids food. And that's probably the notes that I would put in there for myself. So when we go back to make the final list, before we walk in, we kind of have all the information that we want, and we know how to get in. We know about a little bit about the place, and seeing that picture. Sometimes I'll take two pictures, one of the front and one, but we know the front when we get there. But just to remind us of what we're looking at. And then before we leave the night before, when we have our list, we all look at them together and just go over the list of where we're going to hit the next day. So that's that location. Let's see what else we got here. Lazy Dog Restaurant and Bar. Let's check that one out. Let's see what that one's about. So I've heard of this restaurant. It's actually really super fine dining, Italian, I believe, and it's probably not what you want to put a machine in. It's going to be more busier, or I mean, where's another one here? Let's see if we can go down to that. Where's that one? Well, here's Brickyard. That sounds interesting. Let's check out that one. So these are all more corporate-y types. This is kind of what this location is it's very much a shopping area. It's a big mall. You'll see the Galleria malls in this area, and this is kind of where everybody goes to go shopping. So what you're gonna find is a lot of your Buca de Beppos, your cheesecake factories, and those type of restaurants in this location. If we were hunting for mom and pops, which we can actually go down and do, we can actually do Mexican restaurants too, and that might be something to look at while we're together here too. But let's look at this Brickyard and see what it's about. So great inside picture here. Looks like that's the service station and the bar there. Let's see if we can find more pictures. Look how busy this place. Oh, that's a video. So let's go down here. So there's your entrance. Looks like there's nothing right here on the wall, which would be a great spot for a mini claw. Possibly here where they put the sign, you could put a mini claw, possibly. Along this wall over here on this side. Let's see what else we got here. Oh man, looks like they got a little patio in front. That's cool. Let's see what kind of food they got. So they got all different kinds of food. Man, look at the desserts. And then let's look at the crowd. So this looks like it might be like a happy hour time. A lot of younger people, which is great. If you've got stuff in your machines for college age and a little bit older, it looks like a lot of 30s, 20 to 30s groups. You might be a good spot for this. So let's keep going down. Looks like more videos. Let's see. Do you want to go out the back? Okay. Sorry, Amelia's leaving. Oh, but here you go. So this is why you look at the pictures. So what do you notice? They already have machines. So not sure if they do them themselves, but this is what's great about doing the images in the Google Maps and stuff like that, is seeing that this is a location that already has its own machines. I only see one claw machine. You might be able to do something, but I'm guessing they have a vendor of some kind that comes in. So that would be for us. We wouldn't bother, and we might go in there sometime and eat and just ask them. But I mean, the machine looks full. It doesn't look new or anything, but it looks full. It doesn't look bad. So if they had a picture and it was empty and it didn't look so good, maybe it's a good spot to stop by. But so let's skip that one. Let's go down a little further and see. And then we can also look up, let's just go down. I'm just picking them at random now. But if we were going, so these are down further. Let me pull out of here. So let's go back up to, I want to see, oops, I went too far. So what is this place? Lola's. So this is a Hispanic restaurant. Let's check it out. Lola's, and looks like it's right next to the cheese and steak location. I want to show you too. Let me see if this one has it on this one. No, it doesn't. But what you can do is I'll show you here in a second, which is kind of cool. Let me go back to Lola's. Oops. Oh, this looks cool too. The Kitchen Bar Market. Let's see. So you go down here. Great food, great customer service, 4.3. Let's check out the photos. And what you'll notice too, if you go to the very bottom, usually down here. Oh, here we go. This is probably one of the coolest features, which I don't think you can get on Yelp. And this is what I wanted to check on too, is that usually at the top up here, which we'll get to in a second, but usually your newer photos are at the top, your older photos are at the bottom. That's kind of the way most of the time this works. But this must be their commercial that's running on TV. But if you go to Street View, 360-degree view, you can actually check out the complex. So we can go in here and walk around and see if there's anything else to hit while we're there. So when we're looking at that complex, because you'll notice these are all kind of complexes next to each other, you'll see here. So here's the cheese and steak location. Here's Lola's. It looks actually pretty nice. And it's in a complex. Let's check and see what else is in the complex. So it looks like a kind of a small complex. It's not really a big one. Let's see what's down over here. There's a pediatric center. What's over here? Um, Oh, here you go. This is Kiki's Wings. So we have Kiki's Wings where we're at. I don't know if you guys have those around. A lot of people order out at those locations, but some people do eat in. There's a grooming shop if you're into doing barber shops. You could put one in there. I'm guessing this is probably Sushi Makuni, but it looks closed. That location doesn't look open, but maybe I'm wrong. But then what else is up there? So what is that? That might be a theater. That looks like an old theater up there. So I'm not real sure, but this is a really small complex. But if we went back to, this is what's so great about this. So let's go back to like Yard House, for example, and check out the complex and see what's in the complex with them. So, oh, and see, this is really cool. So they actually say located in the Fountains at Roseville, which is a big shopping center. Um, and there's a good comment right there. So it says during COVID, a lot of vendors removed their machines and didn't put them back, and that's 100% true. So, like, oh, and then above he said check the date on the picture. So that could those machines is what he's saying is that basically those machines could not be there anymore. They could be gone. So that a vendor could have came and removed those. We don't know. So you might want to just still jump in there anyways and check it out. Excuse me. If they're owned by the people that own the restaurant, probably not. But if they are if what do I want to say if they own them themselves, then probably they're still there. But if they're owned by another vendor, then they're probably gone. So this is the fountains. So this is another 360-degree view, which is awesome. So this is how you can walk through this whole complex, and you can make a list just based on going here. So oh, look at what first pops up, Dave and Buster's. So in the complex already, you know that there's competition, right? But that is not the kind of competition that you're talking about or that you will be dealing with. So those people are going there to eat and play at Dave and Buster's, but the people that are going to other restaurants aren't going to go to Dave and Buster's more than likely and play games. They're probably going to be going there to eat and drink and play games. So if you do end up putting, a machine in one of these locations, then you're probably going to end up being okay in this complex. I mean, this is a huge shopping complex. Let's go down a little bit and check it out so you can kind of get some ideas and then just jot on your little notepad. I believe that's a restaurant right there, but I'm not sure what it is, but we can look it up. But if you just go down and there's J. Crew. So this is kind of like outlets, which is very cool. This would be a great spot to have a couple of machines, especially inside the restaurants. Um, so there's shoes. I don't know what this is. This looks kind of cool. Can I get over there? I can't get over there. What does it say? Creamies. It looks probably ice cream, I'm guessing, which is cool. So that's a little ice cream place in the middle. Um, yeah, this is nice. So this place is cool. Sephora, I see. What else is down here? So let's see what other kind of restaurants there is. But this is a big shopping center. And there might even be a way, this might be owned by, this could be owned by a mall company that runs outlet type malls. And you might be able to get in like a center hub area, kind of like that creamery, where maybe they have an area where there is like a food court or something like that, that you could actually plant your machines in that food court. So it goes all the way down here. So you could basically just make a list of where to hit. So there's a burger lounge. I don't know if that's a national chain or not, a grass-fed burger lounge. And there's a Chico's, which is shopping. Looks like, what's this? It says something about Food Express. Let's go back. I don't know. Well, let me go any further. Let's go this way a little bit. So, what does that say? Oh, Pet Food Express. Okay, so that's probably not where you want to have a machine. Let's see. But anyways, it gives you guys an idea is that once you find a restaurant that looks pretty good that you're going to hit anyways, you can go in the complex itself of where that restaurant is and then make a list of other spots you can hit. So you get out of your car, maybe do some shoe shopping and hit a couple locations while you're there and then go on to the next location. There's a Whole Foods. So this is a pretty nice complex. This looks fairly new. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with Roseville, but this is the kind of stuff that's in this area. It's all malls and newer complexes, West Elm. So this is a really looks like a really nice area. Hopefully, I'm not making people sick on their computers. So or on their phones. But anyways, that's kind of what I want to show you with going to the complex of the location and checking it out while you're there. But what I wanted to show you mostly on the Google Images is that you want to. This will give you how to find, how to find information and see photos. And oh, look at that, popped right up. Okay, good. So let's see on the map where we're at because this might be near we're already looking at. Okay. Okay, so this is up where we were before. So this might be something that we want to look at. So let's go here to this one. Talk here. Garibaldi. Okay, Garibaldi. So let's check this place out. Ooh. So 4.3, which is good. There's only 270 photos. So let's check it out. Looks kind of like a chain, but it could not be. But it's cool. Look at they have like a salsa bar. That's pretty cool. Here's some inside photos. They have a bar. So there's your door. So it's kind of like just kind of like Mexican fast food. It looks like, and yeah, this is a great spot, guys. This would be an awesome location. So let's see if we can see any more photos of the inside. Let's see. So in here, I mean, right now I could tell like in this area, it doesn't look like there's a lot of space. It might be something on the end here, at the end of that little bar, possibly. But right there, there's not much. Over here, looks like they got seats all the way up against the wall. Looks like they have some sort of station over here. I bet it's a tortilla maker, which would be awesome. Let's see. That's what these photos are. Sometimes, whoops. I don't know what that did. Oh, it's a Google tour photo thing. We don't need that. Sorry, let me get back here. Did I lose it? Okay. So, get back to the photos. But that one that had the entrance, I think this is probably a pretty good. So, I mean, all along here, this wall right here, I don't know if we can blow that picture up. Yeah, I mean, there's a great spot right there against the wall. There's nothing there. You could go even up against this window here, and there's probably power along this wall here, or along here. I think that's just a wall right there. Let me see. We'll get some better photos. So can't really tell from that photo. But this is how we'll research it, is we'll look and see. And the food looks great. It looks like, I mean, everybody loves Mexican food. I don't see a problem with there being, any issues. Looks like there's kids right here getting their food. Yeah. So this is a great spot. And then we'll check out the complex and see what else is in there with it. But look at this, man. This is a good spot, guys. This would be an awesome spot. So it looks like you could even, I don't see power on here, but I was saying you could put one right here in the middle. You might be able to even put one on this wall on the other side here. But this gives you an idea of where you can place, because usually by the time all the photos are done, you have 360-degree view of everything. Oh, there's a great spot right there. You could put one right there. And it seems like a nice small place. These are great. I mean, the outside looks new and nice. And I'm guessing, they have, I don't know if that's menudo. It looks really good, though. Let's see. I haven't had dinner, so I'm hungry. So it looks like this, so that's just the windows. That doesn't look like the main entrance. So the main entrance must be over here to the left. This is 2 years ago, those pictures. Excuse me. Here we go. So here's your entrance. Definitely no room here. They got a table up against this little wall that's right there, so you can't put one there. But around the corner, we saw that you could. So there is room. It looks like you probably walk in here. This is probably as people are walking in. And over here to the right was where you could put some locations. Oh, wait, here's a 360-degree view. Perfect. All right, let's check this out. So maybe I guess we're going to do this 360-degree view here, and we'll check it out. Hopefully this is helping you guys. So it looks like that no, I think that's just windows. Yeah, check this place out. This is cool. So there's your main entrance right there. You walk in, you go over, and this might be an entrance here also. Possibly. I don't see a door though. But it looks like you can actually walk in here, check it out. Oh yeah, look back here, you guys. Look, there's a spot right there. There's a spot right there. You could even do one by the back by the bathrooms. Like a lot of times that's great because everybody has to use the bathrooms, but you want to be more front and center. You know what I mean? You couldn't put one there and let that wall because people at the back their chair up. But this is a great tour. So I mean, how awesome is this, right? Here's one right here. I mean, this is an awesome spot. There's plug right there on the wall, so you could put a mini right there, and no problem. And it looks like along here too. You could put one right here against the wall. So there's plenty of locations to do it. Looks like a great spot. I would hit this one for sure. I really think that it looks like it's a very popular spot. And so there's one to hit, right? So now let's go back and let's take a look and see where it's located and if we can check out the complex. So let me go back down here. So let's see. Does it say? Oh yeah, located in Fairway Creek Shopping Center. Boom, right there. So then you go to the see outside, which is awesome. And let's see what else is in the complex. And this will tell you, what you're looking at and how it's there. So um, it looks like I have a special guest, Mr. Anime Frank. Can you talk? Can I hear you? Are you there? Yeah, I can hear you. Let me bring you in. Hold on a second. Your internet looks slow. Do you have slow internet? Oh yeah, you're disappearing. Your internet's real slow, Frank. I don't know what's going on, but it looks like see it down here by your picture. It shows your internet connection. It looks really low. So we'll get back to why he checks his connection, but so let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is the whole complex. So right now you've got Starbucks there, which is great. So that's a busy complex. Let's see what else is in here. Um, yeah, he's like frozen. I can't see Frank. So let's see what else is over here. Looks like somebody's getting all their linens delivered for their business. Let's see what else is over here. Matthews. I don't know what Matthews is. What does it say? Matthews mattress. What else is in here? Um, what was that place? Trident something. But here's a Thai bistro. So this would be something that you can look up and see what it looks like inside. That would fit there. Pinto Thai Bistro, and I'm guessing the entrance is right there. So it looks like a small little place. Says it's closed right then. I don't know what time this was taken. Alterations. It's over here. Let's go back over here. So this is a huge complex. So there it is. So there's the Takiera, the place we were looking at. And so it is in a pretty busy complex. There's Red Wing Shoes. What else is over here? So it's a nice little complex. And then if you zoom out, so let's go back and see, like, is it near industrial area? Is it near shopping? Let's see if we can tell by the map if, there's anything near this. So this is how you got to spend time. You got to put effort in. You got to research it. You got to look and you got to make a list. And this is the tools we use. So we use this and then we'll go to Yelp and we'll look it up after that. And so let me go back here. There we go. So let's go look at this place and see if we can zoom in a little bit on the location and see what else is in that area. So I'm guessing this is kind of near. Yeah, so there's Costco right there. I mean, this is a good shopping area. And, you can also look by what's near the Costco, what's in the Costco, complex. So you can go and check that out too. So you can look at, that's just pictures of Costco. We don't want to see that, but you could see what kind of complex or what's in the complex. And then here's the Galleria. So this is the giant mall that's right there across the freeway from it. So yeah, and then there's the theaters. So that's the theaters that we were seeing before. So that gives you an idea of what to look for and how to use Google Maps. Our little dog is whining back there. Um, so if you hear whining, that's the little puppy whining back there. She was trying to wrestle probably with her big sister. But let's check out a couple more. So let's see. This one's way down there. What else is up near this one? What's this one right here? So that's the one we looked at, I think. What's this one? Let's get off that one. Let's see what this one is. Ooh, that looks fancy. This one's got better reviews. Let's check this one out. Is that this one? Yeah. So let's check out this one. So 230 photos. Let's see what kind of places. So it's got a salsa bar. Ooh, looks pretty nice. Man, it is making me hungry too. I don't know if we should have done this right around dinner time. I bet everybody's starving. Let's see if we have a different view. So it looks like this, your entrance may be over here somewhere. This looks way more fast foody, maybe more corporate. I don't know. Looks like a new complex is what I'm seeing there. Let's check out the outside. Oh, it's pretty nice. Let's see what else is, if we have some more inside photos. The food looks good. I think anytime, let's see what, here we go. So let's see what else is next to it. So it looks like, what else we got? I can't tell. Sorry, Frank, that your internet's not catching up. I don't know what's going on with your connection, but so this is pretty nice. Looks like they got a taco bar. They got, yeah, it looks very nice. So this might be a possible location. I don't know anything about them, but that's how you're gonna research them and check them out. So when you go back here, they have their website right here. You can click on it, go check it out, see if it's owned by multiple restaurants. Man, that looks good, right? Let's see, locations look like they have several, which is awesome. So one in Sacramento and one in Roseville. So this is not, doesn't sound like it's a corporate thing. Just sounds like they own a couple restaurants, which is great. And then you can go and see how you can contact them. And let's see, menu. So there's, excuse me. Oh yeah, your connection's way better. I'll bring you in here. Give me a second. Um, there you are. Hey, Mr. Anime Frank, how are you, sir?
Good. Sorry, I have to use my phone because my laptop's acting funny.
That's all right. Yeah, your connection was really bad, so I couldn't keep you in there. I wouldn't even have you appear on the screen. So here's all your different locations. This might be something where you need to go to each location and go hunt, go talk to them, maybe find out if there is a corporate number. They have a contact thing on their website, but these, I honestly believe these contact things don't work very good. I don't see any social media, and this is why I really feel like it's probably owned by, a family or something like that, which would be great. And if they have two locations, you can probably get into both of them. I think this is a great spot. And then you can see, let's see if they have different. So that's the Roseville one. Let's see what the Sacramento one, if they show pictures of that. So Northgate is also next to a mall. It's down there. It's not as nice of a mall, but yeah. So they don't have any pictures of that one in there, it looks like. But there's two locations in Sacramento, so you could definitely hit both those locations. I think that'd be a good spot. So basically what I'm going over, Frank, is I'm just showing them how to use Google Maps to find locations. How to look at photos of the restaurant to find out where to put their machines. So we basically we kind of research the heck out of our locations before we go visit them. So we make ourselves a nice list of, ins and outs of that. We try to find, we'll go to, so like that restaurant right there, this one, we'll go to where that restaurant's located and we'll check out the complex. So we'll see if there's other things that we can hit, in that. So it's in the Highland Reserve Marketplace. So let's check out that and see what else is there. So they usually have right here the 360-degree or the Google Maps. So it looks like there's a Kohl's. So this is another shopping complex, looks like, which is awesome. So this might be another really good spot because you've got looks like a bunch of stuff near it. So let's go. There's just the road. But let's actually go check out the complex and see what's in there. So I was telling them that we won't just say, oh, we're gonna go hit all these restaurants. Like if there's actually other restaurants or possibly like a boba shop or an ice cream shop or something in the same complex, we'll hit that at the same time. So we'll make it on our list. We'll list those also and then research those and see if there's something else that we can hit while we're there. But this looks like a big complex. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know what this is. That's Bevmo.
Yeah, so
Um,
like, yeah, this is one of the techniques I do as well. Also, Facebook, you want to
yep.
do both, because Google Maps may not have all the photos, but if you look them up on Facebook, they may have more photos from people that's actually been in there, like hashtag or at this restaurant. They may be celebrating a birthday, a nice little brunch. Who knows? But you always want to do both.
Yeah, so here's two other spots you could possibly hit. So the Yummy Cookie, Free World Burrito, um, bagel shops. I don't know. I don't think that bagel shops are usually that great. In college towns, when they're like downtown, and there's a local bagel place, that's usually slamming. But those kind of ones are usually just business people coming by to get a bagel and going to work. They're not usually super busy where everybody hangs out unless it's coffee and bagels. Then possibly sometimes. Um, but anyways, that's how we hunt, and that's how we find locations and what we do. And I showed you guys how to find the images of the inside, looking for, places you can place the machine. You want to know, and then once you pick these locations, we'll show you next how to find out who to talk to. So what you'll find out, there's several techniques that you can use, and Google's another one of them. So like, if you want to go to, let's see, where's that one? So let's go to like the one we really liked. What was it called? Um, this one, this Garibaldi in Roseville. So a really easy thing to do is take the name of it, right? Copy it, put it in here, paste it, and then put owner. And you may find an ad that, let's see if we can go into, oh, we need to go to like the regular Google, not the, I'm in like maps. Here we go. So go to regular Google and go to owner and see if we can find out who owns those restaurants. Because sometimes you'll have the chamber will do a ribbon cutting. So here you go. Look at this right here. So here's your answer. Doesn't look so good. So Sacramento restaurant allegedly offered employees a priest to confess workplace sins to illegally denied 70,000 in overtime pay. So that might not be somewhere that you want to put your machines. That's good to know, right? I don't know if this is true, but how funny is that we researched that and it says that. Oh, she paid back wages and civil penalties back in 2003, which wasn't too long ago, you guys. So I don't know if that's a place that you really want to have your machines. So we were all excited about the location, and who knows if you want to do that or not. That doesn't sound too good. Um, wow, how crazy is
But keep
that?
in
We're getting
mind
all the
that
street.
that's definitely been 21 years ago. So maybe things have
No,
changed.
2023.
Oh, I thought you said 2003. My apologies.
No, 2023, like last year.
Oh, that's a
So
toughie.
yeah, probably don't want to go there. But that's how there you just found out who the owner is or who runs it. So you have a name. So you can go in with that name. Then another way to do too, which is another place that we look for, is let's say Roseville Chamber of Commerce, and then go into here, the Roseville Chamber of Commerce, and then they usually have a member directory. Ah, there it is right there. I should have clicked on the member directory. But this is how you, let's see, where's your business directory? There you go. So this is how you can find out people that belong to the chamber. So you want to look up restaurants or, let's see, shopping and retail, restaurants, food and beverage. So here you go. So these are all people that pay to belong to the chamber. And then guess what? Their phone numbers, their websites, and a lot of times it'll have the owner's name on here also of who owns those locations. So if you're trying to find a name of somebody like that or the corporate phone number, a lot of times like Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm guessing this is just the phone number to their restaurant, but a lot of times you may get a phone number to their actual offices, and you can. So this is, I mean, here's a lot of great information just on the chamber. That's another place to look if you're trying to find out who to talk to. So, and I'm guessing that's probably that restaurant. We looked at the Eureka one. That looked pretty cool. So hopefully that's helped you guys to help you look up locations before you go, and then basically get yourself a route that you're gonna hit. We used to do it by type. So we used to go and do it as like we'd only do boba shops one day, or we would do restaurants one day or whatever. And then we learned that we were just driving all over the place when we could have hit a group of like 10 of them, probably in like a 5 mile area that day, and then did another 5 mile area if we would have did more research. So we learned that by checking out the complexes, checking out the area, looking down the streets, all that stuff with Google Images, we could see what else is in that area that we might be able to hit. And then we did the research. So hopefully that helps you find them. You can see the pictures of where to put them in the machines. And then I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint because there's a couple things that I wanted to cover. So questions on that so far? Does anybody have any questions on how to do the Google stuff? Yelp is kind of the same way. It's just more just reviews and pictures. It's not going to have as much information as what you're going to get on Google Maps, but it is good to see, like they said, younger pictures, more current pictures usually than what Google has. So, but both are great. So let me get rid of this and go back to the PowerPoint here. How are you tonight, man?
I'm exhausted, man. I just did several locations, came home a little late. Um, was eager to jump on the live stream and help you out, you know?
Thanks, man. I'm really happy you joined me, and I so tonight we're going to be covering how to hunt for locations, then how to pitch, and then if we have time, we're going to cover commissions. So we're going to try to cover all three. But for those of you who don't know, Anime Frank, let me make you big so everybody can see
Ah,
what you look like.
no.
So Anime Frank is huge in the Discord, and he helps a lot and a lot of people in the Discord. Does a lot of work with David. They have some locations together they work on together, and he's very knowledgeable. And he's also he's fun to talk to. He's got a great personality, and so I wanted to make it so we could bring you on and and you could help me tonight because it's kind of hard to do this on your own, and it's always nice to get a second opinion on stuff besides the comments, which we love. So please do the comments. um, so let's see, let me get this back here. Okay, so we covered the locations in order with the addresses and the notes. We talked about that. You need to make sure, which we're going to get into that in a minute, but make sure you have your flyer. And you were talking to somebody about flyers today in the Discord. I saw some comments about show me your flyer, and it's like I want to see the whole flyer. Like show us your flyer. So it's really important. You can go to canva.com. You don't have to use Photoshop. You don't have to use any fancy programs. Canva's awesome. You can go on there and put images on there, and don't steal people's images without asking. Just get some images, put them on there of your own, and make your own flyer on Canva, and it's super easy. And they just redid Canva where it's even cooler now. So there's a whole new upgrade to Canva. So that's a cheap and easy way to do it. But make it professional, make it look good. And they do a good job of giving you good templates. So, and then we always bring a gift. So if you see, let's see if I can move us around. I don't know if I can or not. Oh, no, I can't. Let me see. How do I make? Oh wait, yeah, I want this. I don't want it spotlighted. Sorry, I'm learning this, you guys. Let's see. There we go. This should be up. There we go. Down here on the bottom is a box of snacks, and this is what we use for our full line locations when we go to talk to people. We'll take this box and take it to the location and show some of the snacks that we have there, and it's a gift they get to keep, and they get all excited because there's snacks in there, and this tends to land us about 90% of our locations when we do that. And then on the next slide, you'll see we have one that we use for our claw machines too, which is smaller. So excuse me, but we always bring a gift of some kind. You can just get the boxes and make cookies, and you can do whatever you want if you don't want to put toys and stuff there. And then we talked about having the pictures of the spots, where you're going to put the machine. And then we bring it in and we circle it, and we're like, hey, we were here last time, or we were checking out your location, and we think this would be a good spot. Or if we can't find one when we're hunting, the first thing we do when we walk in is always look at where can the machine go and is there power there, because you hate to go, oh, let's put it right there and there's no power on the wall, and then you look like a fool. So make sure you have the spot picked out before you talk to the person. And then we always bring a machine with us when we go. Reason being is that we're hoping A, that we get to place it that day and get rid of it out of our garage, and then B, a lot of people like to see it in person, so we can pull it out of the back of the car. We say, hey, we have one in the car, if you want to see it, we'll pull it out, or we can wheel it in and show them, and then the toys and stuff that we have with us in case we're going to fill it. So we always bring that with us every time. Plan your route, make sure you're doing it in order, and make sure you do your Google search, and then check out the complexes around the area and see if there's any you can hit while you're looking for those other ones. Print pictures, and then I showed you guys how to do the website and Facebook and the chamber and all that stuff. So that is our location hunting 101. And then once you have your list and your driving route or where you're going to go, then the next slide, which we're going to get into, but I have to do a shameless plug first, and then we'll get into that. But is we're going to go in and we're going to go pitching and we're going to show people. So my shameless plug, which I'm going to just highlight this real quick, is, and it's the only time we do this. We don't talk about it very much, but we've done a lot of work and we created our own website, and we're really excited about it. And we want you guys to go there, and we have a lot of stuff on there that can help you. We have the new cloth stand that's on there that'll help your machines from tipping over and from people shaking them and that kind of stuff. We've got the new advertising screens, which actually I just got the new one from China direct to me yesterday, and so I can show you guys tonight if you guys want to see it. But those are on there. Our merch is on there, but definitely please go check it out. That's as much as I'll say, but we're very proud of it. So I told the kids I'd talk about it tonight. So make sure you go check out howardhospitalitygroup.com when you have a minute. All right, now this is the hardest part for everybody, Frank. This is what we hear all the
Very.
time. Yeah. So we've got this. I guess I shouldn't say we. I'd say Amelia and Sam have got this down to a science, and they love this part of it. Believe it or not, like a lot of people hate to do this, but their attitude about doing this and the way that they approach it is, I think, probably the best way that you can possibly approach it. You need to be prepared. I think that that is the number one thing, is that before they go into any locations, they have the machine with them, they have their flyer with them, they have their the little boxes down here in the corner. That's the little mini claw box that we take with little toys in it. We've got a couple that we set just for ice cream and boba. So they have little ice cream cones and little bobas in them. And then the rest of them are just random toys that we take to the other locations. But we put these together and stuff, the night before as we're talking about stuff. We have a nice big box of them that we put together. And so they're very prepared, and they feel really good. And there's one thing that we have to do is that we have to listen to TikTok radio on our way from XM. That's a given for Amelia because she wants to get amped up. I usually get them like a boba or an energy drink of some kind they want before they go out. So there's things that kind of the routines that we do together, but they tell me that, and it's kind of, I don't even know if they tell me anymore, but what we learned from doing this for so long, we've probably pitched over 300 locations at this point in our time that we've been doing this. And they start out on fire. And then after, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 30. It just depends on how long of a day we want to do. But when they hit a point, they're done, and they say we're done. And that's totally fine because you have to be on point. You got to be excited, you got to be amped, you got to feel good about what you're doing. But the thing that's cool about young kids is that they don't have well, at least Sam and Amelia, they don't have like the horrible feeling of being rejected. They don't feel that way. And hopefully everybody can hear me. Whoops, I think we're
Yeah.
here, right? Okay, there we are. Okay, we're down at the bottom. Um, but okay, good, we're there. So we're just had that spotlight. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. So they don't have that horrible feeling of rejection, and I think that that's something that people need to get over, and you need to prepare yourself, because I think that the only time that you should feel bad about failing is if you didn't give it 100%. You didn't put all the effort in, you didn't plan, you don't have all your tools with you. And I think that that's the stuff that I wanted to cover tonight, is that you need to make it so when you walk in, there's never any questions you can't answer. You want to feel like you have all the answers for everything. You want to be able to give them all the answers, and then the stuff that if you can't close it for some reason and you can't get that location that day, the flyer that you leave has those answers on it from what you already said. So when they go back and look at your flyer again, they say, "Hey, what did he say about so and so?" And they'll look at your flyer, and in there, which is the things up here to the left, these are in our flyer. So these are the questions that most people ask, and you actually helped us build this flyer, Frank. But these are a lot of the questions you're going to get, and I've got them down here at the bottom too. The handling objections that you guys will get to. But this is the most important part, is that if you do have to leave something, make sure you answer their questions and you have all your contact information on there, and that you've done the best job that you can when you leave. And so I'll explain to you, I'll give you their pitch. You might want to give your pitch of what you want to go first, of how you pitch locations.
Who, me?
Yeah. Or do you
Oh,
want to? Okay. Well,
you can
think
go
about it.
first, and then
Okay,
I'll
we'll go
come.
first.
I'll come.
Okay, so there's a couple things I wanted to cover on here. So we always bring a machine, always 100% with us, unless we're at dinner or something and we just happen to see a location, or we're like, hey, we went there a month ago. Let's go back in and stop in. We may not have a machine with us, but 99% when we're actually hunting for locations, we have a machine with us, and we also have. I've seen here, I wrote in here that there's some people, and I've heard in the Discord and also on Facebook, that they take a cardboard cutout. They don't bring a machine with them, but they take the base of their machine, they put the cardboard on top, underneath it, they cut it out, and then they say, this is how big it is. So this is how much floor space it takes up. So that's another way you can do it, with the dimensions written on it. Some people do that. It's an okay idea. I really think that the machine itself in person, or pictures of it with you standing next to it to show how small it is way better. Um, Always have a very professional flyer. Have photos of all the machines you carry, which I think is very important, because you may go into a location and you went on Google and you're like, oh, there's this one little wall right there with the plug. It's like the perfect spot, and they're gonna go, well, just so you know, we're busting out this back wall and we're building a whole extra patio out here, so we want a whole arcade in this back area. And then you're like, oh yeah, well, I've got all these other machines too. And but if they're already on your flyer, all this other stuff, or you leave and then they call you and like, we want bigger ones. We got all excited. Now we want bigger machines. Did you have bigger machines? And then you don't have to go back and show them the machines. They're in your flyer. Everything that you can get or that you carry should be in your flyer. You should be able to show it when you're at the location 100%. And make sure that it has all the answers to all their questions. And make sure that with the minis that you have somebody standing next to one, because I think that's one of the biggest things, because they show how small they really are. Because you can put your arms out, say it's this big, but until they actually see it in person, they really realize how small they are and how little space they take. So we always bring make sure the flyer has all the questions, all the answers. These are the most of the ones that you're going to get. There's a few more down here we're going to go over. Um, Make sure or you have a picture of where you want to place the machine, or scout out the location as soon as you walk in with power. And so that's one of the things you'll see. Like the kids are immediately, they walk in, they're just searching all over the place looking for a place to put it. If you're randomly visiting locations and not on a planned route, try to hit less desirable locations first. So like if you don't already have a location, you're like, hey, um, we really want that boba shop over there, but this little restaurant over here looks okay too. Do that one first so you can get your mojo going, and you can get your pitch down, and then go to the big place that you want to get and do that one second. And get you in the swing of what you're trying to do. Um, so their pitch is actually really good. And so what they do is that let me take a little coffee here real quick. So Sam and Emilio walk in a location. I'm gonna pump myself up because I might have to talk with my hands because I'm Italian. So let me put this up. So um, they walk in location. They're always wearing their polo shirts. They always have the logo on their shirt. They always look nice. Um, they dress the part. They bring in their flyer. One of them holds the flyer, and the other one holds the box, the toys, or whatever we're pitching. Um, and basically, so they have something in their hands, because a lot of times when you're talking to people, you don't know what to do with your hands. Like it's very awkward, if you're not on YouTube, or you're not, like a person that like knows how to talk in front of people. Even though you're talking to one person, it almost feels like you're talking to 1,000. So to have something to do with your hands, or to have a flyer in your hand or something, helps them with confidence. And then usually Amelia carries the flyer because she does most of the talking. Sam's a lot quieter, but he needs to have something in his hands too. So they say hi. She usually Amelia starts. She says, "My name's Amelia. 12 years old. I have my own business. We do mini claw machines. We do snack machines, drink machines, arcade machines. We do a lot of it, and we think this would be a really good location for whatever she thinks would fit into or they think would fit into that location. So if it's a medium claw machine or a mini, or if they're talking about maybe putting some arcade games, they used to have them and now they don't, whatever they're pitching, that's what she'll bring up. So usually it's mini claws because those are the easiest to place and they like doing those. But they say, we think this would be a great spot for a mini claw machine. And most of the time, locations say, "What's that?" Like they don't know what a mini claw machine is until you explain it to them. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way she says it, but they always ask her, "What do you mean?" or "What is that?" And she'll say, "Oh, they're have you seen the claw machines like at arcades? Where they come down and they pick up the toys." Like Toy Story is what she uses all the time. The claw, and then they pick up and they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and then she's like, "Well, these are mini versions of those, so they're small." And they go into a lot of locations, and then she'll tell them how many locations she has, which is a lot. And she says we cover this area down to this area, and a lot of the locations that we are, which I don't really want to get into because we're in some corporate locations that we don't always talk about. But she'll mention some big names of locations that she's in, and she uses that to get her, to get her some clout with this location. So she'll say we're in this restaurant, that restaurant, this restaurant. We go there once or twice a week. I mean, once a week or every other week. We go and we fill the machines, we clean them, we take care of them. There's no cost to you. She always brings that up first, and we take care of everything. She's like, we have our own insurance, we have our own LLC, we're fully insured, we take care of everything. And so basically, she'll go on a spiel and with Sam, and he'll bring up because what she forgets, Sam will say. So he'll bring up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and we also do this, and we also do that." And the things that they'll cover, um, is Sam will say, well, our locations really like it because people are waiting to eat. And and then the one thing that Amelia and Sam always use is like, when you go into restaurants and they give you a piece of paper with that you can color with crayons and stuff. This is kind of the new version of crayons and paper. It gives the kids something to do, keeps them entertained. A lot of parents use them as rewards, that kind of stuff. She talks about the locations they have. She talks about um, she says, well, we also, you don't have to give people change. The old machines ran on quarters only. Our machines run on quarters, bills, and credit cards. So you never have to give people change. Everything is fully self-contained in the machine, and all we need is a plug. And then Sam will say, because he likes this part, that's like his favorite. He goes, yeah, and they cost nothing in electricity because it's all LEDs and it costs like $3 a month. So he goes, and so then he always throws that in there. Um, and then they talk about the different routes that they have and where they go and stuff like that. So before they even finish their spiel, they've covered a lot of the questions that people want to do. And when they're talking, like most of the business owners are kind of impressed with what they have to say because they're young, and they're pretty legit, at this point with their pitch. But I think that whether you're, 12 or 15, or if you're 21 or 40, it doesn't matter. You want to sound professional and you want to make sure that you cover all the bases of the questions that they have. So when I wrote here, which I'm going to bring this up in front of us again, is to make sure you cover all these topics. And if you can, in a way, make sure that you're answering all their questions, which are the questions that are on your flyer. You're bringing them a box, like what kind of prizes do you put in the machine? That's a question you get a lot. Those are in the box. Those are you're going to show them. What is it for? Like, what's the benefit to them? It's the wait times. It's returning customers. It's parents rewarding their kids for being good during dinner. What kind of payments does it take? And then the big thing that they push towards the end, and they do it at the end on purpose. So they'll handle objections, which is down here at the bottom. This is what you're gonna get questions if you don't cover them up here. First thing you're gonna get is how big is it? How much power does it take? And what happens to the machine if somebody breaks it? Well, you have insurance, right? You covered that. You covered that it's really small. You covered the power that it takes. Who fixes it if the problem? You do, right? Because you're there every week or every other week to maintain it. What if I don't want to hear anymore? We don't do contracts. We don't. People do. We don't do contracts personally. Like if people don't want us there anymore, then we won't be there. That's just the way we feel. We're not going to make people sign a piece of paper to say that we have this location or anything like that. Like We do a very good job at what we do, and they love the kids and what they're all about. So we don't push contracts because we feel like if we're gonna go, we're gonna go, and if they don't want us there, we don't want to be there. We're not gonna fight for it. So, and so at the end, they talk about their nonprofit, which is Yao, which we talked about up above, how they start a nonprofit or how they support the nonprofit, and a percentage of their earnings goes to Yao. So that leads into commissions, and which is kind of our next talk. Which if you want to talk about your pitch, um, but that is a good lead into why, because the biggest question you're going to get if you don't talk about money is how much do we get? You're going to get that from your locations. And so to counteract that before they even start that conversation, they talk about the nonprofit. They also talk about, which we're going to talk about in the next slide, is their advertising screens. So that's the second thing they do. So they talk about the nonprofit and how money goes to that. And then they talk about how in every one of their machines is a screen that plays videos and then they can run ads in their machines for that location. So if they have a happy hour every Thursday, if they have a steak sandwich special, whatever it is, they come in every week or every other week and they can update, because these new screens that we got, you can actually update them from your house. If the screen has Wi-Fi at the location, you can update it from your home. But you can run ads for these places, so it's added value to them. So when you are talking about commissions, you can say, hey, we're going to be running you ads, and we got to donate to a nonprofit, and we have a lot of costs. So that will keep your commissions down. So did you want to do your pitch?
Yeah. Real
Okay.
quick though, I do want to answer some of these questions.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss some? Okay.
Yeah. So I see that Arijah, I hope I said that name right. He brought this question up when you were talking about bringing the machines.
Sure.
Yeah. So it says, is the claw machine or is the claw mechanism fragile in transit? Do you like bubble wrap it? For me, I it's a hit or miss. I either use a moving blanket and lay it on its back while I transport it, or because I drive a truck, I just throw it in the back and just go. I actually went 50 miles just bare truck with two machines and it held up perfectly fine.
Yeah. So we always lay down a blanket. We use our Acadia. We have a GMC Acadia, and we fold the seats down and we put them in the back. We always use a blanket underneath. So what we do is we lay the blanket kind of over the tailgate, or not the tailgate, but the bumper, and then we lay it on the blanket, and then we push it up into the car, and then slide the blanket up, and that's how we put it inside.
Yeah.
And then inside of it, the claw mechanism itself, when you buy the machines, they come with foam in the back of the machine over the mirror when they're shipped to you. We keep all those pieces of foam. So when we actually take them out to locations, we put that foam back inside. And then when you lay it on its back, you just push the gantry down onto that foam and you won't have any
Also,
issues.
here's another fun fact. If you pre-fill your machines with like toys, like plush, you don't have to worry about that because then the claw will kind of be like in its own little wrap of sorts with the toys in there.
Yeah. Jackie
But it's
has a
all
question.
it's all depending on how you want to do it.
So,
So
you want to read it?
this, yeah, this question is question: is this mostly for arcade slash bulk machines, or would we be talking about full line also? It's the same concept with full line and the call machines, just different um, buildings that you're going after. Uh,
So Jackie, there's a little bit different technique that we use for full line. So full line, depending on what machine you're going to be putting into a location, the best full line locations are the ones that have the most employees. So you're gonna wanna go after warehouses.
I like to beg to differ. I think the best locations are apartment complexes or
Oh, well, those are good too.
community
Yeah,
centers. Yeah, community centers where they house like townhomes or anything like that.
yeah,
Because you're not targeting just like employees. You're targeting more of everyone in a family household.
100%. Especially if they're in the laundry room, those are the best spots because that's
Yeah,
where
that
everybody
too.
sits there waiting for the laundry. Um,
But the pitching is almost the same in my opinion. The only difference is when you talk about like mini claw machines versus full line. when you go in and you speak about a vending machine, everyone knows what a vending machine is.
Hmm.
What I found out is it's hard to explain a mini claw machine like how you had mentioned earlier, because a lot of like I don't know. I haven't yet figured out if it's because you say mini claw machine and they get confused or what. But I noticed that same similarity where the question marks pop up when you mention a mini claw machine. So
Yeah.
I think full line is a little bit easier to place. There's not It's really simple versus a claw machine because you now have to like try to talk with a manager or general manager or an owner, whereas if you do a warehouse or anything like that, there's going to be someone there that can give you an almost definite answer immediately.
And when we do full line locations, we have a different flyer. So we have different machines on our flyer showing the machines that we do. And then we also have different questions, a few different questions because people want to know, like, does it have credit cards? What about refunds? You're going to get a lot of those questions because it's a little bit different kind of animal. And then we also cover, how often we come. And then we have a contract with Pepsi. So we also give, if we're going into a location, we bring a list of all the drinks and stuff that we can do, and we leave that with them. So then hopefully they're gonna say yes. They'll say, well, can you pick out some drinks you'd like to have in the machine? And that gets people really excited. So they're like, oh, they get to pick it. So they're like circling all the stuff, and then then kind of what they want in the machine. You can't always accommodate everything that they want, but it definitely makes it exciting for them to know that they're gonna have some of their favorite drinks, or snacks in the machine. So, um, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
Claw Magic says, "Wish I would have found claws before investing in full line. Full line is rough."
Yeah.
I would very much agree. However, there is definitely pros and cons between full line versus claw machines. Um, I currently do both. Howard does both, or Jonathan does both. Um, and I mean, there's definitely pros and cons. It depends on how you view it. But I will say that it's very heavy for doing full line. Very, very heavy.
So Jackie she asked what screens are those. So if you go to our website, howardhospitalitygroup.com, we have these new advertising screens that plug directly into the power supply of your machines, and they can play ads for your locations and then your own ads. So they're really cool. So they used to be you had to get regular plugs with them, but we had these designed for us, especially, and then the way that the app works and everything, we redesigned that with them, so it's like a really easy process to upload photos or images or whatever, even videos to your machine, and anytime you want from anywhere. It's very cool, and then the way it powers it, you don't have to have an extra plug and stuff. So check those out. I actually have one behind me that we're going to talk about maybe if we have time tonight, and then we're going to do a video on it too, but they're very cool, so check those out. Next one. Yep, here we go.
Claw Magic Claw Magic says I use a GMC Terrain. Basically, load same as HHG with blanket.
Yep.
I drive a big Dodge Ram 3500, so I
Dang.
yeah. So my tailgate is at least 3.5 to 4 feet high. So yeah. Nope. I don't think that's the. I don't think I'm Anime Frank. Comp Magic said, "Is that Anime Frank?"
Oh, that's funny.
Uh,
All right.
Small Money Trading says, "Been trying to talk to Kiosoft. Nyax called right back."
So you can actually order Kiosoft on our website now, direct. So you don't have to go through a rep anymore. You can order the machines on our website. There is a discount if you order more than 5. We have a discount code for that also. But no more dealing with rep. You can for help with certain things, but we're trying to streamline the process with Kiosoft so you can just order the machines. When you do, we submit all that information direct to Kiosoft. They set up your account, send you the paperwork in your email, and everything's set up quickly. You don't have to wait for anything anymore. So if you're looking to buy Kiosofts, and they're actually cheaper on our website than anywhere else right now too, go to there and order them because that's the best place to get them. And then we also do have a discount code for Nyax also on there. So if you're looking for Nyax, you can use our discount code and save think it's like 7% or something like that. It's quite a bit, which is probably the best right now. And so either one of those, but they're both great. It just depends. There's positives and negatives of both without getting into that in this live stream, but we will cover that at some point, I'm sure. There we go. Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay, cool.
So pitching
Yeah.
my version. So um, I think it's very important because, as you can see, I'm not too quite easy on the eyes. I have tattoos, piercings, long hair. I think the main important thing for anything is confidence. Definitely confidence. Just making sure, if you get a no, you could definitely, you want to be able to like bounce back out of that. Believe it or not, I get plenty of no's. I have to explain myself a lot. So that's very important for me. So key thing, confidence. Second is a flyer. Definitely have one in hand. That way you can showcase, your machines, have the key points to definitely answer any of those questions. And mainly, you just want it to leave behind so that way they can think about it. And even though you may verbally, talk about the things that are on the flyer, it's just good for them to like reread it again and just, if they have any questions, they could reach out to you. I don't really bring a machine with me all the time, um, just because I find it very tedious to like always unload and load a machine in. I I that's what the flyer is for me for is it has pictures on it, and I think that really describes it best. And then for pitching, I always just go in like what Amelia and Sam do when I scope out before I go to the front to talk to a manager or anything. I always look for a potential area that could work well with the machine. So that way, when you actually get a chance to talk to them and they, you want to show, you could be like, hey, this spot is perfect. I could definitely fit one or two machines here. Uh, and, like they'll just be phenomenal. Like they won't take that much room. And typically they get the gist of it once you like show them a location, and
Right.
you say like this machine only takes this much spot. They go what? And then like I'd be more than happy to come by tomorrow and we could install a machine and see how it looks. If you like it, then we can leave it. If you don't, then we can take it out. Um, Contracts. I have both. I have written contracts and I have verbal contracts, which is also known as handshake deals. And I tell them the same thing. My contracts and my handshake deals are literally the same thing. Just one's on paper and we both sign it. Um, when it comes to I think the main scare is basically what you covered: cost, how much is it going to cost to them, like electricity, commissions if they get any, and if they don't want the machine anymore, what are the protocols to remove it? And for me, I just tell them if you give me at least 7 days, I guarantee the machine will come out, no questions asked. I actually had this happen with two previous new locations where they had asked the same question, and I told them, if tomorrow you decide you don't want the machine, just give me at least 7 days. I'll take it out, no questions asked. Or if 8 months down the road you decide you don't want it no more, just let me know. Give me at least 7 days. Get it out of there, no questions asked. And it's the same as my handshake deals versus my paper contract. So there's really no difference there. And typically, when you describe, if you do the same process that I do with my paper contracts and my handshake deals, when you tell them that, then they go, "Oh, we don't need a paper contract. That's totally fine,"
Yeah.
and they'll just stick with the handshake deals. Uh,
100%.
but main key thing is flyers and confidence. Like those are I cannot stress how important those things are for everyone. I think, and I joke around this a lot in the Discord. Pitching claw machines you will get the most rejections than you did in middle and high school combined together. Like it's nutty how many no's you'll get, and you just gotta like be strong and like just if they say no, then it's probably better off you didn't be there anyways, you know?
Yeah, 100%,
'Cause
and that's the way the kids look at it too, and that's what they say.
yeah,
They're like, "We'll leave there," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys," you know, they're, "We don't care, let's go to the next one." I'm like,
but yeah, like,
"Man."
just recently, I had this long drawn they strung me around for almost a month and a half, made me do a PowerPoint presentation and all this stuff, and they eventually said no, and I was just so angry because I went through this whole process and I just had to call Jonathan. I was like, you know, like so bad, but you know, like ultimately, it's you got to look at it like if you went through all that process and they end up saying no, then it's probably not worth it in the long run
Yeah,
if they would have said yes. So you just kind of like
yeah.
vent off, cool off, and then just move on. But
Everything happens for a
confident,
reason, you guys, just
yeah.
remember that, is that, you
Yeah,
know.
what's crazy was I what's funny was that day, Jonathan, you remember I got another location right after that.
Yeah.
And I was like and you were like, "See, it happens." And I was like, "Yeah, but yeah, confidence and flyers is definitely the key."
One of the
Like
things that we didn't talk about, which I didn't even think about, is that, you know, we should have said it in the very beginning, and I apologize to you guys, but you never want to talk to a waiter or waitress or a manager or something like that. You want to speak to the owner. You want to speak to who's in charge. You know, like Amelia and Sam know that's the first thing they ask. So before they even do anything, is the owner here? No, okay. We walk out. First thing they ask, actually, I shouldn't say that, but they always ask, do you know when they'll be in or when the best time to find, to get a hold of them is? And a lot of the time we found that the best time to go is on Monday mornings. Usually after the weekend, they come in for restaurants, especially. They're always placing their food orders. So, like their Cisco truck orders and that kind of stuff, they're always doing it Monday mornings or late on Sunday nights. And so we always come in on Mondays early because usually nobody's there. So they're there by themselves and they can get their office work done and stuff like that. So we found that Monday mornings is a great time to go. And but ask them, and what you're gonna hear a lot of times is like they're never here. And it's like, so then you got to ask more questions. You don't just leave it at that, and
yeah,
they'll ask, they'll say, well, we really want to talk to them, and then they'll tell them what they do. So they'll say, we do mini claw machines and we really think want to be fun in here and you guys could have all the toys and whatever. And then the people get excited and they're like, oh yeah, 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 they might like that. And then they say, oh yeah, come in on Tuesdays at like 5. There's always here, and they'll change their tune. So definitely, nudge them a little bit to see if you can find out. But if you do know who it is by doing the Google search stuff that we talked about in the chamber or the Facebook or whatever, or you look up for news articles or whatever it is, then you know who to ask for. And you walk in like you know what you're doing and you're asking for that person. Then when you sound more official and when you do ask, then they're like, oh well, they're not here now, but they will be. If you have a name, it helps a lot too. So make sure you talk to the right person. If you leave your flyer and stuff with a waitress or a waiter or just somebody that works there, nothing's gonna happen with it, and you're just gonna waste a flyer. So, um, let's see. I'm gonna see if there's any more questions before we go on. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
so Comp Magic says no is not no. No is find someone else to say yes or give them a reason to say yes. I kind of want to disagree on that. Um, it's a fine line. It's borderline harassing when like, can I speak to your manager? Can I speak to your manager? Um, it's kind of like when you first start the pitch, you always want to make sure you're talking to the right person that could either lead you to the right direction or could give you an answer. Um,
Right.
and that's where you want to start. You should, if someone says no, then you have to take that and decide if you want to pursue it harder or okay, well, I think because a lot of things can happen at the same time. Like maybe you go in after looking at Google and you think this could be a great location. You go in and you beg to differ. You don't see a spot, but you still talk and they say no. Then I would myself would just leave a flyer and then leave, and then maybe follow up if I felt like it down the road. But if I see potential, then I would still pursue a little harder. But that's a fine line that you just have to figure out, on your own on that.
So my opinion is that you're never going to get the right answer until you talk to the person that's in charge. So we make sure that we get that person. If you end up talking to the owner and they tell you no, that is no. That's where we stop if the owner tells us no. And they'll tell you no. But if they say we don't know, then that usually means the door's open and they're probably expecting you to come back. So they're probably saying to that right now I got so much stuff going on, or I might want to rearrange this front area, or I have to fire this employee in an hour, whatever may be going on in their head, you
Or
don't
talk
know.
with their investors,
Yeah,
like
or
maybe
whatever.
they're
Or
both
maybe
the
they don't
owner.
own it. Maybe they
Yeah.
don't own it, but they're not, they don't want to reveal that information that they have a silent partner they need to talk to. Whatever it may be, there may be more to the story. But if they don't tell you no, then I think, if they say, I'm not really sure, but I don't really know. If they say they don't really know, then that's not a no in our book, and we do go back. And we go back, and when we go back, the kids say, we really want to be here. We really want to be in this location. What can we do? Like that's why we're coming back, because we want to be here so bad. And then at that point, they'll tell you yes or no. And they're not going to string you along another 2 weeks or another 3 weeks or whatever. But we do try to go back within 2 weeks to a month at the longest. We don't go any longer than that. But we do feel that if they don't tell you no, that's not a no. So that means you can go back and ask again, and you should, because if it's a really good location, somebody else, after they talk to you and you don't go back and they know what you're talking about, and the next person comes in and says, I want to do this. And like, yeah, well, I don't even know what I did with those people's flyer. And yeah, you're here now. So yeah, go ahead and put one in here. Then you just lost the location. So make sure you do go back, and that's a great location. Fight for it, go back and get it, and tell them how bad you want it. Tell them that please, 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 and do everything you need to do, and everything else. So anyways, yep, see, elite clause is the same thing. No also means check back in a month or two. I've been able to get locations that originally said no. So there you go. I mean, if you feel that it might possibly be a yes even though they say no, sure. We're not gonna push it too much, but usually they have a very good explanation when they say no to us, that I've learned that there's a reason, and they tell us the reason. If they just say, "Oh, I don't know," then that's not a reason. But if they tell us no, we don't want that here, because we're a little bit different kind of atmosphere, and I don't want the responsibility. And you say, well, we have insurance and we cover everything. They're like, I still don't want it. Then don't push it. Don't be
Yeah,
don't
I
be a
agree.
jerk. But yeah. So anyways, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, he gives out. Here's another one. Here's another comment. You want to read that one?
Yeah, so Elite Call Amusement said that's why I give out bottle opener keychains with my flyer. That's something they will more likely never lose.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So
I hand out, little
yeah.
plushies and stuff. I try to fit the theme of whatever the restaurant or establishment would benefit. Like, I'm not going to give a pizza shop boba plush,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. So I try to be, appropriate with who I pitch to.
And think
On,
about where
on
those toys are gonna go. Either those toys are gonna go to kids that come in and they're gonna see their faces when they give those toys to some little kids that come in, or they're gonna go to their own kids. So their own kids are gonna come sit in their parents' chair at their office, while they're working, and they go, "Oh, these toys," and they get all excited, and then they go, "Man, maybe that's a cool thing, maybe we should have those people in here with these toys." And a lot of our location have kids, and they'll come dig through our bag and stuff, and so I mean, it can help you in the long run, and it shows kind of what you're talking about. They love opening the box with the people. That's the other thing they do when they hand them the box. They're like, "What's this?" And the people get to open a box, and it's like Christmas to them. It's got a bow on it. They open it up and like, "Oh, that's really cute." And the little bobas, especially, or the ice creams, or whatever you're talking about that's themed towards that location. They're like, "Oh, this is perfect." Because we have little sandwiches and little burgers and fries and that kind of stuff, and that's what you're talking about, and I think that's
yeah.
key. Yeah, very cool. All right, so we're about 20 minutes away from ending this already. That's crazy. Do you think we have enough time to cover commissions?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right, let's move on to commissions. So all right, so what I wanted to cover with commissions, and let me pop this up all big, or actually bigger. so then people can see it. So I wanted to talk about, you know, there's a big debate in the world of vending with commissions, and I fight with people all the time about it. And I don't know, maybe I'm dumb, but I don't think you need to pay commission at every location. That's something that I know people that are in our area. We have a vendor that's in the Discord, and we've helped him with, his pitch and with Yao and with, the screens and some other things. And he doesn't pay commission at 80% of his locations, and he's got good locations. And I think it's all on how you approach your presentation. I think it's about how well you take care of your machines. I think it's about making sure that the location feels like you care about what you're doing and that you do show up. If there's a problem, you're there that day or the next day. Like you have you we when we do our talks with people, and if we do have to have the commissions talk, by the time the people are done talking to us, they feel like kind of a jerk for asking for money. Like that's the way it should be. And I know that's kind of weird to say, but we do. We put a lot of effort. We have gas, we have time, we have toys. We do give a proceeds of our donations back. We do advertise for locations. So we do a lot. Yeah, the kids are part of the business and what they do too. And that does help us not pay a lot of locations. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but the other guy I'm talking about is 30 something years old, and he has the same result from doing this. So I wanted to cover the debate of there's a whole debate, and the debate is you need to pay commission at every one of your locations, because if you don't, you're going to lose that location. That's the first side of the debate, is that if you don't pay something, somebody's going to come in, they're going to offer them a bunch of money, and you're going to lose your location. My side of the debate is if you do a good job, if you show them and you're honest with them about all of your costs and what you're doing, and you perform well and you do take care of your machines and you do give back to the community, you advertise and you do everything that you say you're going to do, they don't want any more than that. They just don't want problems. They don't want issues. They don't want things that don't work. We always put new machines in all of our locations except for some of our old arcade games, but everything else is all brand new. If something's broken, we're there the same day or the next day to fix it. So I really feel that if you build a relationship with your locations, they will never kick you out over money. And if they do, they will. So like we just had this happen to us with one of our boba shops last week. Is we went in there to fill it up. He goes, dude, some guy came in and he was like offering me all this money for your spot. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. He wanted this, because it's a really busy boba shop. And he's like, he really wanted it. And said he would give me 50% commission and da da da. And I go, what'd you say? And he goes, I'm happy with who I have. He goes, I don't need the money. He goes, you guys come in here, you take care of it, you have great stuff in there, and you're always, you're doing little screens and you advertise our specials. He goes, dude, I'm happy. I don't need somebody else in here and I don't have any problems. And I'm like, there you go. So I really feel that, yeah, sure, you're going to lose some locations. You may even lose your own locations to your own location. So they may see how well you're doing and you may end up, losing location because they see that you're doing well. But you still made more money in the meantime, and then you can explain to them. If you did explain to them all the costs that you have, they're going to know that they probably don't want to deal with it. They're going to know that there's a lot of cost for those toys, there's a lot of time, a lot of effort, all that stuff that goes into it. So you need to make sure you explain all that to them. So what I want to talk about with commissions tonight is I don't know how you handle it. We'll cover how you handle it in a second. I'll kind of cover how we handle it, and we don't bring it up. So we don't bring it up until we get to the handling objections phase of our pitch. Um, and we make sure that we really push the advertising screens. We really push Yao, the nonprofit. We push how much, time and effort and gas and how expensive gas is nowadays and how we have to drive around. We push all those things when we're having conversations with the people, so that way, even if we do have to pay a commission, it's going to be a tiny 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 amount. Then the one thing that we always, so let's say if we do get in the commission conversation, we explain to them what 50% commission really means. And there's this whole backwards thing in the vending industry where vendors, they say, I'm going to pay you 50% commission. They're not paying them 50% commission. So for those of you who don't know how that works, hopefully you're not paying them 50% commission, that you're going by the known vending 50% commission rule, which is you're paying them roughly 15 to 30% commission by the time it's done. And the way that you do that is you take the commission, 50% of it, but you need to factor in your costs. So you've got gas costs, you've got toy costs, you've got credit card costs, you've got all the stuff that goes into your business and making it run, and then you've got your time. So you've got to factor in all those costs, and we tell the owners, if we do have the commission location, all those costs. And we tell them how much the toys cost. We're 100% honest with them. We have toys that cost us 30 cents, and we have toys that cost us $1.10 or $1.20 or $1.30. So per toy, so we explain to them that, our average toy cost can be, 50 to 60 cents per toy, depending on what toy the people get and how often they win. And our machines, we run them pretty loose. Like we run them, we're running them 1 in 8. A lot of people run them 1 in 6. It just depends on what your ratio is, but people win a lot because winners make players, all that kind of stuff. So we tell them like your people are going to win at our machines. So we talk about the 50% minus the costs. Can it be less? Yes. It depends on what your costs are. So we have locations that are 2.5 hours from our house. Gas prices in California right now are $4.86 a gallon. So my costs compared to probably where you're at right now or where somebody is on the East Coast is probably a lot more than what somebody else's cost is. But we got to factor that in. That's a lot of money for gas, and our car only gets 22 miles a gallon on a good day. So, the best way that we've found to do it is we tell a location that's how it really works. So you're not, you get 50% of what we get 50% of. So, it is 50%, but you're not going to be, if the machine makes $200, you're not going to get $100. That's not how it works. And we explain that to them that by the end of it, you're going to get a lot less than that. And so are we, because we have a lot of costs that go into it and there's a lot of time and effort. And they totally understand that because they're business owners and they understand costs of food or whatever it may be. They know how all that works because they have employees, so they get it. And once you explain it to them, they feel very good about what you're explaining to them. And then they go, I was always wondering why that old vendor, I'd see him pulling big wads of cash out of there, but he always give us $100 a month. I never understood that. And it's like, well, that's why, because that's the way they do it. But it sounds great, 50%, but it's not 50%. So, explain the reality of the commissions. Really discuss the costs that you have with your business, because people that are in business love to talk business. They love to talk about how your business works, how it does, and then you're honest with them too. And you always got to make it. We always make it sound like it's harder than it probably is, because we don't want them to do it themselves. But at the same time, we also don't want to pay a lot of commission, but we do work hard. We feel like we're probably one of the better vendors that are out there, because if you see our stuff, it's clean, it's nice, it's got great toys, it's a lot of effort and a lot of time that goes into those machines. I mean, we buy custom stickers, we do all kinds of stuff that costs probably more than most people. Um, so then, when you're having that last part of the commission talk, we offer them two different types of commission. So we only have, of all the locations we have, which is quite a few, we only have two locations that we pay commission to. That's it, out of all of our locations. And one of them it's a monthly fee, and then one of them we pay them on a percentage. So first thing we offer them is, would it be better for you if we gave you the same amount every month for the spot? So like we're renting the spot, that it's sitting, because floor space is valuable at locations and at restaurants and at businesses. So do you want us to pay for the spot? Be the same every month? Or, as you're busy, you get more money, or as you're slow, you get less money. Like, what would be better for you, in the long run? And they'll tell you what they think is better. And you tell them, it's only like $3 a month to run these machines. So there's not a lot of cost to you to have it here. But what you get out of it is so much more. But, what would you rather have? So, you let them kind of choose which one they want to do. No matter what, we always ask them to, which I'm going to bring this up so it's in front of everybody because we're getting to the bottom. We always ask them to wait 3 months. And that may seem like a long time, but we want to get an average of how that location does. So if you can do 2 months even, we like to make them wait for at least 2 months to see how the machine does. And we'll kind of show them a little bit of how it's doing, but we want to get an average. So we'll tell them, okay, do you want to? And there's another reason that we do this, and it works a lot of the time, is that, we'll say, okay, let's go 3 months and see how it does. And then we'll take an average and we'll pay you that every month. And we'll go back the last 3 months and we'll pay you for the last 3 months. But we will have an average. Would you rather do that in commissions, or would you rather do see how it does, and then we do a fixed amount every month? And they say, yeah, that sounds good. So what happens 90% of the time is that you're talking to them and you guys have built a relationship 3 months in. Do they really want the commission at that point? Not usually. They usually don't care. They're very happy with the machine. They're happy with us. They're happy with what we do. And if they do, they're like, "Oh, just give us $10 a month or whatever." Like one place we pay $20 a month, and the other place is on based on a commission that is an average of the first 3 months that we were there. And didn't want the up and down commission of counting it every month and then writing them a check or giving them cash. So we just made an average amount, which was pretty good. And it's gotten busier and busier. So they've never asked for more. They just wanted that certain amount, and it's been a good relationship. So, but the one thing that you really want to push while you're doing this and bring it up again when you talk about your costs is, you're talking about those advertising screens. And I really feel like you guys need to implement these because they do love them. They go absolutely nuts having these in the locations, and you take a picture of their special that week, you put it up on the screen, and it's running all week long. People are seeing it, they're ordering drinks off it or whatever it is, and you have a dedicated people viewing the screen while they're staring there playing the game, and people will watch your screen. Like ours has videos, and they're very popular. So make sure you push the screens, make sure you push the Yao nonprofit, because the percentage of that and your commission will be lower. So anyways, how do you do commissions?
So I typically go in and I try to be fair across the board in general. And I straight up offer 20% of gross sales, which,
Up front?
yeah, up front. Just because I feel like I am taking floor space from them, and where I'm at, every little bit of space is very important to a restaurant. Um, I've noticed a lot of places prefer a chair no matter what. So I do try to offer a, at least 20% of commissions for everywhere that I go to. There's been several locations where I had the opportunity to not pay commissions at all, but I'm a fair guy. My name is Frank. I try to be frank with everyone. So
Wow.
I give them 20% of gross, and we've all been in the Discord. I would say maybe last year. I think you were probably in that conversation where we had found out that 20% of gross was actually 35-ish% net revenue. Um,
Yeah.
and so for me, it's easier for me to do gross because I have a lot of locations where I pay when I check it. So gross for me is like instant number, like instant like figuring out and payout right there. As for net, I would have to go in, calculate, subtract, all that stuff. And I want to be like efficient. I don't want to take more time than I need to. So 20% gross is just flat out on the boards. Now, I do have locations that have been performing super well. I have increased their commissions, and I've told them, "Hey, your location's doing phenomenal. As you're growing and I'm growing. I want to up your commission to 25% or up to 35%, which would be 50% a net profit for them." So I'm like I try not to be greedy. I want them to succeed because I'm also succeeding, and it's vice versa in that friendship, family ship that's happening. But I do love your idea too of the screens and rotating and advertisement. That makes total sense, and I think that's an ingenious move too, and that will ultimately help a lot of people in down the road because
Yeah.
landing that location's hard. But if you could do that, that's phenomenal. That's like genius right
Yeah, and the
there.
tennis
And
ones
it's
are only
and it's just right
125
there,
bucks. Like they're
Yeah.
cheap. And it's for the
And
money you put into it. Like people put more money into dumb stuff than,
and
you know.
advertisements is expensive as is. Like the billboards are about $10,000 a month. Where if you had it right there on the screen and you're captivating kids and families as they're playing and waiting, that's free advertisement right there. Like
Yeah.
you know, no one. I could totally see why people would be okay with not receiving any type of commissions on that. So I do think that's ingenious. But for me, because I don't do that yet, and I try to be fair, I do a flat 20% gross starting off, and then part of my pitch too is if we do well, then I'll increase the commissions cost for you, as we because you're giving me business, and I want to give you business too. And
Yeah.
ultimate, like when you get to that point, you're creating that friendship family, uh, and like feel between both parties, that even if another vendor comes in, you don't have to worry about them really taking your spot because of that trust and that awesomeness of being truthful, and hopefully you're always servicing your machines, and you're just taking really good care of it. Then they're just gonna be like, go away, we don't want you,
And that's
that kind
why
of stuff.
that's the other reason that we say to wait, before you pay them, wait 3 months, and then you may wanna just be out of there, at that point,
Yeah,
like, maybe it doesn't do well, and you're like, "You know what? The location's not working out," and whatever, and you can just pay them a little bit of money and leave, and, you're not stuck with it, but then the 3 months also gives you time to build that relationship where, like, "Hey, are you happy with everything?" "What do you think of the screens?" "Oh, man, the screens are awesome." Like, you'll see people, like, just stand there and stare at them, and because we were running it's a good 2 minutes of videos in ours that are continually running with ads and us doing our thing and, and our phone numbers and stuff like that, and it makes it also more personal in the machine, I think, because you see our whole family in there collecting and filling and and who we are, and it tells a little bit about our story. It has our YouTube QR code, like it's about us, but then at the same time in the middle of each one of those 3 or 4 ads for us is their ad, and it was really cool because we have like Logan's Roadhouse sent us their TV commercials, and we run those in the machines. So it's got
yeah,
like the steaks with the butter and like the people and like the waitresses, you know what I mean? And it's really cool. So that's playing. And then we have like the boba shop, like they have their specials where they're open late certain days, and like they just love it. And like they said, we've gotten more orders from people standing there staring at your machine, because they didn't know certain things were available. And it's not, that they didn't see it on the menu or whatever. And their specials sell better. And so I really feel like if you guys aren't doing this, you're missing out. Like we've been doing it for about almost 2 years now. It's been a year, and we started out with just the most basic screen, and it was horrible. And so as we went along, we bought newer and newer and better, and finally we were like, we need to do it our own way because it's not what we wanted. Like you could buy one and you get this part, but you wouldn't get this piece, and it wouldn't do this and would that. So I went direct to the manufacturer and had them create our own personal one that has all the benefits of what we wanted it to do for everybody. Because if you go like on Amazon, like we did, there's 500 to 1,000 different ones. You don't know what to buy. And we ended up buying, I think, 15 or 20 different ones, and none of them did everything. They only did a piece of a certain thing. And it was so
yeah,
frustrating. So, and these come with the cord that plugs right into your power supply. So it's like you don't even have to have an extra cord. Like, I mean, it's phenomenal. And
yeah,
everybody should have these in their machines because it just makes you so legit that you don't just have a sticker with your phone number on it anymore. You've got like a video of who you are showing you and all your locations, like find us at this place and that place and this place and that place or whatever you want to do. And then you can actually, if you really wanted to make money, you could sell ads for other locations on your screen and make
yeah.
even more. So, I mean, there's so many opportunities out there with the screens. Like, I'm surprised we've sold, I think, 8 so far, and I'm surprised they're not just flying. Because if I had a claw machine and because now every one of our machines has one in it, and we wouldn't have it without it. And I really feel like if I would have known about this sooner, like we would have been running these forever. And like our locations just, they go nuts for them. And there's 2 different sizes. So if you have bigger machines, I mean, it's just, I don't know, Frank. Like I just surprised people aren't just going nuts for him because to
No,
me,
I love it. I as soon as you told me about it, and you sent me that little bit of a like video, I was like blown. I was like, wow, this is like so ingenious, and it just makes sense,
well,
because
go ahead.
yeah, because I just I don't know, I was like very impressed,
Yeah.
because it you don't. It takes a while to think of something like that, and and to make it work, and because our machines are small as is, finding something that just fits there and just is thin and it works, like, it's amazing,
Yeah.
honestly. And yeah, I'm surprised they're not flying off the shelves on them as well.
Yeah, because I mean, you can find certain ones on Amazon that might be a little cheaper, but they just don't do what these do, and you're gonna have to have a plug. And by the time you made these are actually less expensive than what the ones were because we bought them in bulk. So then we don't have to. So we didn't have to. You guys don't have to pay more. Like that was the whole goal is we want you to make money, and to me, like this is something that is can make you so much money and make you look so
Save you
legit.
so much money too.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like yeah, you can make money off it. You can make money on the ads. You can make money on the fact that I just think the thing that was cool, the original idea of why we did it, and you saw Tinker Toys at comment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
um,
Teacher Choice.
yeah. So the reason that we did it in the first place is because we wanted to be different than everybody else, and we wanted something that nobody else had. And to me, like walking by a claw machine and seeing like this video playing inside, I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. You know what I mean? Because we didn't do photos, we did videos because we were making videos for YouTube. And we're like, we need to have videos and whatever. And like everybody's like, that's so cool, and so then for the longest time, I was like, I was trying to make it better and whatever. But I was like, I almost wanted to keep it, and I'm like, everybody needs to do this. This is something that can help everybody. So instead of trying to keep secrets, I'd rather help everybody kind of succeed. And I think that that's what these are about. Is that I mean, this is going to be. You'll see now that claw machines are starting to have video screens on them, but this is
Yeah,
something that you can do with the minis that's not out there. So I think that's
they
just
secretly stole your idea.
cool. I didn't say that, but yeah. So, but yeah, but we're actually at time. So, we're past time. We're actually a minute over time. So, anything else you want to say to everybody? Thank you for joining me. It was nice to have somebody
Yeah,
to talk to. Sorry about my
yeah,
dogs.
absolutely. I felt like I could definitely help with a lot of these topics and issues, because your kids are amazing, but not a lot of people have kids, and
Yeah.
I think I would be a perfect example of not being too you know easy on the eyes, so to speak.
Right.
And so with my knowledge and confidence, hopefully I could help a lot of other people that may have had issues or anything like that, because like I always just go in there, I'm smiling, I'm joking, just making a good rapport, but just maintaining confidence. And I felt like if I could do it, then anyone else can do it as well.
Yeah.
Because like I got tattoos, I've got it on my neck, I've got these huge holes in my ears, I've got long hair, and I could easily land locations. And it's just it's not that hard. It's just once you get into the routine of things, it's definitely easy. And you'll notice that like I don't know if you noticed, Jonathan, but in the Discord we used to get a lot of people complaining about, oh, I'm getting all these no's, and then it slowly died down. And I feel like a lot of people in our Discord has either taken advice or have figured out an easier way to go about things.
Right.
But ultimately, it's just like for these are for the new people. Maybe they have issues, maybe they're shy. I stutter a lot too, but it's how you play it off. Like if I'm stuttering a lot, I'd be like, "Ooh, sorry, let me catch my breath. I think I swallowed my saliva. Talking too fast. Hold on one second." And then that's a joke, And then they crack up, and you crack up, and you're like, "All right, so back to the questions, like that kind of stuff." It's just pure, transparency and just being brutally honest, and having a good time. Like you want to have fun. These are fun
Yeah.
machines. Even full line, like you're providing a fun service no matter what. You're providing a, a beverage, a great snack, stuff like that. So I feel like I had a lot to contribute here and definitely help you out.
Well, I
Oh, my
appreciate you
hair's all
coming
messed
in.
up.
I appreciate you coming on, and next week, we're gonna talk about what machines to choose, what's out there, and what goes where, and some other things. So I've got the next week's gonna be kind of planning, not jumping into things too fast, how to take things step by step, and work your way up. Like, don't go crazy at first. We're gonna talk about the steps leading into
That's
getting going.
that's very good. That's
It
very
is,
good
yeah,
advice.
because we did it the hard way, and we moved and grew way too fast, and I think there's a way to do it, and there's a lot of mistakes that we made, so I wanted to share those with people so they felt like so nobody else makes the mistakes that we did, and, but thank you, Frank, for joining me, and thank you all for coming out tonight. We appreciate it, and please contact Frank in the Discord or us. If you have any questions, please go to the website, check it out. We'd love you to, see if there's any you can help us with any products you'd wanna
And you
see
can
or
see his screens on the website. He has a
yeah.
photo of them
Yep.
in a machine, so you could definitely see those screens. It's
And I
definitely
got them
awesome.
here, so I'm gonna be doing a video on them. I'm super excited about that, so that'll be coming soon. But thank you guys again, and tell your friends to get into vending, and I'll get the kids in there. So